Hello everyone, GameGoddessFee here. Alright, we are back with more Ace Attorney. Your boy is up.
Yeah!
So yeah, I have Pluminator on the mic, and yeah, he will voice the characters. The Cowboy, Phoenix Wright, and Edgeworth. And that's it.
And everybody else.
Yeah, I hope you all enjoy. Thank you for watching. I guess I was trying to get a few more people watching, but I guess we'll have to start without y'all. All right. Thank y'all for watching, and make sure you hit that like button for me. I keep forgetting to turn this down after my Tears of the Kingdom stream. The music be loud. All right, so we got Phoenix Wright. I said right. I said Rice.
Phoenix Rice. That's gonna be on the news shop.
I'm just looking at all this at the same time. It said Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, Episode 5, Rise from the Ashes, Day 2, Trial Former. I don't know what Trial Former is, but
It's Trial Former. You defending Optimus.
that's what I'm thinking. February 23rd, 9:34 a.m. District Court Defendant Lobby Number 2. How did the investigate? I'm already starting off wrong. How did the investigation go yesterday, Mr. Wright?
Frankly, there are still a lot of gray areas.
Or rather, the whole thing is a big gray area. Don't worry about me, no matter what the outcome. I'm ready to accept my fate. I believe in you, sis. Mr. Wright, let me offer you a word of advice.
Yes?
A defense attorney should never believe their client. Huh? The defendant is called to trial because they are suspected of wrongdoing. Never forget that.
This guy, you remind me a lot of Mia. But there's one decisive difference between you and her.
And that is?
You're not a defense attorney.
I believe it's almost time for the trial. Good luck, Mr. Wright.
My first trial without a Faye helping me.
Is your thing up?
Yeah.
I'm turning on this music song.
No one's gonna bail me out this time.
There go Mia.
I'll be alone in there. So I have to discover the truth all by myself.
Let's do it, Mr. Wright. I'll be with you the whole time.
Thank you, Maya ripoff.
February 23rd, 10 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 9. Got the same judge. It's always the same judge.
It's always him. It's always him. He gonna be like 80-something. He gonna be 90-something still in this courtroom.
And I noticed they always have like different court numbers and different defendant number, depending the lobby.
I have never paid attention to that.
You haven't. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Sky.
The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor.
Edgeworth had to put that in there.
Edgeworth. It's been 2 months, but I haven't been in the courtroom since his trial. I hope that personal feelings will not be a part of the proceedings today, Mr. Wright. Huh? I will choose the path I think is right, regardless of what those around me might say. The judgment to be made here is in our hands, not those of anyone else.
Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. Your opening statement, please.
Chief Prosecutor Lana Sky has committed an unpardonable crime. Not only this, but she was rash enough to commit it in the prosecutor's office lot.
Wow, he's much more forceful in person. I suddenly feel like confessing to everything.
However, she would now pay for her rashness with her life. There was a witness to her crime. A professional witness.
Well then, call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth.
The prosecution calls its first witness, Miss Angel Starr, to the stand.
Oh Lord, here she comes.
The cough-up queen? The cough-up queen, baby?
Haven't I seen you somewhere? Oh my goodness. You ordered the caviar lunch, right? Oh, caviar. Caviar. I've never eaten caviar before.
The judge is really wolfing it down.
And for you, I have a fiesta bowl.
Thanks. Will the witness state her name and profession?
And you, sir. Did you order the fingerprint lunchbox?
It is too early for lunch. Your name and profession, please.
My soda. Well, Your Honor, how does it taste? So this is why everyone raves about caviar. It's so tasty, it hurts. I always thought caviar would taste like pickled what's this?
I have no idea. Tapioca? What is that?
I don't know, tapioca. Never eaten it.
What does pickled tapioca taste like? Name, profession, now.
Me? The name is Angel Starr. Don't go forgetting it. I find myself running Lunchland these days. Is that what you wanted me to say, Mr. Edgeworth?
Very well, witness. Please describe the incident to us.
The prosecutor will wait. I'm not finished eating.
Oh my God.
What's up, Game Queen 81? How's it going?
Hurry it up.
Yeah, well that. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. As you know, we usually call on the police to provide a description of the crime. Your Honor, as Mr. Edgeworth has said to the court, I am a professional. Okay. What exactly does that mean?
Until 2 years ago, Miss Angel Starr was a special investigator with the police. She was a first-rate homicide detective.
What? Miss Starr was a detective? Aha! I know who you are. Cough up.
Cough up! Cough up!
Cough up Queen, Angel Starr, Your Honor. Long time no see. Very well. You may continue with the description, Miss Starr.
Just who is this lady?
If I might have the court's attention over here. The parking lot at the prosecutor's... I can't even read tonight, Lord. The parking lot at the prosecutor's office is divided into 2 blocks. A block is for the prosecutor's office personnel. B block is for visitors and clients. A chain divider separates the 2 blocks. I suppose that's to keep visitors from taking up prosecutor spaces, yes? That was the judge. Anyway, the crime took place by a car in the back of the A block in the car's trunk. The killer stabbed the victim with this knife and went to drive the body out. She went to drive the body out, Lord. Unfortunately for her, there was a witness and an arrest was made on the spot. And who was this valiant witness? Why, it was me, Your Honor. Okay, we got the parking lot floor plans added to the court record. The parking lot with Edgeworth's car. Witness, did you see the very moment of the crime? Of course, Your Honor. Immediately after that, I apprehended the chief prosecutor. It seems rather cut and dry, doesn't it? Well, Mr. Wright?
I can't agree on principle, Your Honor.
It seems that some poor losers are unwilling to accept the truth, Your Honor. Shall I proceed to crush what little hope they have remaining? If you can, then give them your worst, Miss Starr.
Wait, are you talking about me?
Witness testimony, witness's account. Somehow I always knew a day like this would come. I was on my way to deliver a lunchbox to my boyfriend when I sensed something. Perhaps it was my family on detective's intuition at work. Through the wire fence, I saw the chief prosecutor standing next to a garbage car. The chief prosecutor was holding a knife in her right hand. Then she thrust the pointy tip of the knife into Detective Goodman's chest. Bringing a lunchbox to your boyfriend? How touching.
As you can see, there is no room for doubt.
The key point of your testimony seems to be nothing other than the point of the knife which you saw being stabbed into the Detective Goodman. So how does it feel to be so utterly crushed?
I'm still thinking about that.
What's up, Yeety? Yeety said, what's up, Terminator? It's merely a flesh wound, Mr. Wright. Very well, Mr. Wright. You may cross-examine the witness.
It's kind of over, to be honest.
Cross-examination, witness's account. Somehow, I always knew a day like this would come.
You forgot.
I know, right? Pushing the wrong button.
How did you know?
I respect the prosecutor's basic adherence of crime. Yet their methods are ugly and twisted. Twisted methods will always lead to a tragedy.
The lunch lady's uninformed opinion is duly noted.
Given that they are used to erasing inconvenient evidence at their whim, killing off a detective that knew too much is merely an extension of that. Miss Starr, do you have something personal against prosecutors? I felt that I had found my dream job when I became an investigator, and if I hadn't been laid off by those prosecutors over there, I'd still be one.
Laid off? You was fired?
To me, prosecutors are nothing more than worms. That said, I am a pro. As you know, my testimony is unbiased and flawless. Very well. You may continue, Miss Starr. I was on my way to deliver a lunchbox to my boyfriend.
This boyfriend? He's the detective?
Not that boyfriend, the security guard. She has many boyfriends, Phoenix, so you have to...
There's gonna be one of them.
Edgeworth. That boyfriend. You have several? Yes, this boyfriend, that boyfriend, and the other boyfriend. Care to join? Ooh, this lady.
This is a court of law.
The yet another boyfriend position is still open for applicants. I'll stick with the lunches, thanks. Note to self, the judge had to think before replying. The security guard room is in the lot in A block. I guess I can't press on that.
That's still a statement.
It's up on the second level, so you can see everything from there. That would
be the room with the security sign. Incidentally, did you bring your lunchboxes by car?
Since I'm a visitor now, I parked in B block. So she was in B block when she witnessed the crime. When I said something, perhaps it was my finely honed detective's intuition at work.
You sensed something? So you're saying you had a premonition of the murder?
It felt like it. How would you say? Oh yes. It was like the feeling you get when you view a pumpkin chock full of seeds. I have no idea what that means.
Speaking of a detective's intuition, was the victim Mr. Bruce Goodman also a detective?
Yes, well, he was like a young cheese. A young cheese.
A young cheese?
A pale white cheese, not yet tangy with experience on the streets. A greenhorn. Then I must be hard yellowed, a sharp a tack. Yeah, with the odor of an old cheese to match. Ooh!
Are they roasting the judge?
In any case, there's in the lot, I felt something stirring in the back of my mind. Through the wire fence, I saw the chief prosecutor standing next to a garish car.
By garish car, you mean?
Mr. Edgeworth's car, yes. Mr. Edgeworth's? Incidentally, the knife with which the victim was stabbed was also Mr. Edgeworth's. Wasn't it?
Indeed, it was.
What an odd case this is. And the person you saw, you are sure it was the defendant? I saw her from no further than 30 feet away. I am certain it was her.
If she's telling the truth, we're doomed.
Let's just do what we can, even if we don't have any proof. We can always nitpick.
Witness, in your testimony, you clearly stated the following. Prosecutors are nothing more than worms. Ergo, you are a biased witness.
You might want to keep those silly opinions to yourself in the future, rookie.
Huh? Rookie?
Unless you're willing to risk the consequences of doubting me. I'll fry you like a fritter, crispy on the outside, chewy on the inside. That was inspiring. I believe I've heard that tagline elsewhere. You could cry plagiarism. I may be relegated to the lowly post of lunch lady, but my instincts are hunned.
It's over.
A photograph? You took this? The moment I witnessed the crime, my reflexes took over and snapped. I took a picture. In fact, one of my lunchboxes is rigged with a camera.
I suppose that's more exciting than just it hanging around your neck. Witness, why am I only seeing this photograph just now?
You think I show it to you, a prosecutor? Think again.
Huh?
My boyfriend works in the photography division of criminal affairs. Well, this is most certainly the defendant. The moment of the crime as photographed by Angel Starr. Okay, the crime photo added to the court record.
Uh-oh, that is unmistakably Lana Sky.
What game, Queen 81? Oh, you talking about her and the mini boyfriends?
It's so over. So what was the defendant doing at the time?
The chief prosecutor was holding a knife in her right hand.
Tell me more about this knife that the suspect was carrying.
She a toot. Toot toot. Well, I'd say the blade was about 4 inches long. Is that right, Mr. Edgeworth? Is it your knife after all?
Yes, that's about right.
Prosecutors are by nature well versed in the location of a man's vital organs. I'm sure it was easier than boiling an egg for my egg salad, surprise set.
You can't testify as to her ability to kill an egg? I mean, a person?
Perhaps a chicken salad set would have been a better metaphor.
The defendant was holding a knife. What then?
Then she thrust the pointy tip of the knife into the Detective Goodman's chest.
Tell the court why you didn't try to stop this crime. You did see her raise the knife to strike, no?
The defense has a point. Unfortunately, by the time I realized what was going on, it was already too late.
Too late?
Yes, the next moment, the chief prosecutors brought down the murder weapon.
I see.
It's only a flesh wound, Mr. Wright. We can make it.
You said that before. Anything else?
Scientifically speaking, Miss Starr's testimony is flawless.
Sounds pretty favorable to me.
What do we do? Is this it? Is my sister guilty?
Let's just keep our heads cool and trust the witness a bit, shall we? For some reason, having her panicking next to me makes me calmer.
Don't smile like that. Somehow, I always knew a day like this would come.
Okay.
We already got her on this one.
Yeah, we already got on everything. I gotta find a statement.
Let me see.
Look at him in the court record. I don't like him. I don't like he's staring at me.
And look at her statements again. I was wanting to deliver a lunchbox. Let me see. Where the map it? Okay, so where's the wire fence?
The wire fence is that little like dotted line thing.
Okay. So she said she was on
The other side, side B.
Side B. So this side B on this side.
Mm-hmm.
Slide. Let me see. Okay, that's side B. And that's the car right there.
Yep.
Top.
I'm trying to find a contradiction.
Yes, I am.
Contradiction, partner. She got caught in 4K though.
Let me see. Cause how did her hand get injured? She thrust the pointy tip of the knife. Let me see. There was no fingerprints.
I don't think that's gonna be it. There are no prints because she has gloves on.
It looked like she had some gloves.
Yeah, she did check the photo again.
I don't see any contradictions. What y'all see?
You don't see none?
Let me see.
Stabbing somebody with a knife with a lot of blood.
So what you mean about that?
I mean, if we trying to find like blood, go to the photo again. Got that
Oh,
one.
it's just the map. Hold on. Okay, so the blood, she got blood all over her coat, look like.
Her coat?
I'm not sure.
Where the blood stains like they coming from?
I don't know. They just on the coat.
It's like if I was wearing that coat, I got stabbed. Is that my chest?
It's like, is it stabbed through it or? Should I present that?
Whoa! And you witnessed this? You saw Miss Sky stab the victim with the knife.
The shoulder game queen. As I've already said, yes. I mean it on my finest salmon swirl lunch. I'm sure that is a fine lunch.
But isn't that odd? Look at this photograph. This is the photograph you took of the very moment of the crime, is it not? Then why is Miss Sky not holding a knife? Oh wait, I guess that's the point he's making.
I was thinking that too. Like, what a knife. Mr. Edgeworth, your thoughts?
Objection. That had to be the weakest objection ever, Edgeworth. Yet it was still stronger than your ever feeble mind, Mr. Wright.
What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth?
This photograph was not taken a moment before the stabbing. This was taken a moment after the stabbing. And how can you tell that?
Blood spatter?
Huh?
See the dark crimson stains on the chief prosecutor's coat?
But it's a black and white photograph.
Yes, it's hard to tell what this could be. Blood. But this could be blood.
Well, Mr. Wright, I see no problem here.
Nope. Honestly, go ahead.
No problem except you.
Mr. Wright, are you going to just sit there and take that kind of abuse?
Ugh, you got a better idea? Objection. Wait, that contradicts what the witness said in her testimony. Namely, that she took the picture the moment she witnessed the crime.
Well, it seems I was slightly unclear. My apologies.
That's it?
If you run out of lunch, you order seconds. Problem solved. If you don't like it, try ordering the jumbo-sized lunch from the get-go. Good advice. I'm not sure I understood it, but good advice. I didn't have time to stop her. Prosecutor Sky was cold calculating like a robot. She killed without pain or remorse. It was a premeditated murder.
Premeditated? How do you know? Look at this chief prosecutor's hands in the photograph.
Well, are those gloves?
Surgical gloves made of thin rubber, most likely. Why would she have those on? If it was not premeditated, she would not be wearing those gloves.
These gloves do seem to tell a tale of premeditation. Premeditated murder, a serious defense. Witness, add this to your testimony. Driving gloves.
Driving gloves.
They say they're right. They could be driving gloves. The murder was planned. The rubber gloves proved it.
What if she was just in the habit of wearing gloves, like driving gloves?
There you go, Game Queen.
The gloves were admitted as evidence when the defendant was arrested. They were rubber gloves of the kind used for autopsies.
In other words, when the chief prosecutor came to the crime scene, she came to do murder. It's the only possible conclusion one can make. Everything was planned. It was a premeditated Crime. I almost said murder, Lord.
Ah!
Impressive. I'm sorry they took you off the force, Miss Star.
This is bad. She's got them thinking this was all planned. If she can prove this claim, the trial's already over. I've got to think of a way to show that this wasn't premeditated.
It's only a flesh wound, Mr. Wright. We can make it.
You said that before. Anything else?
Scientifically speaking, Miss Star's testimony is flawless.
Sounds pretty fatal to me.
We already did this,
Yeah,
didn't
we already did. Okay, so what proves that wasn't premeditated?
Let me look at the evidence. This here, I'm just playing.
Yep. I hate him so much. Look at him. You didn't check, like, into the autopsy report.
Did they just put that on? Name of deceased, Bruce Goodman, 36, male. Date and time of death, February 21st, between 4 p.m. and 5:30 p.m. Cause of death was loss of blood from chest wound. Wound was caused by a 4.5-inch knife. A single stab wound was found.
I don't think that's it, though.
Really? I guess this right here, record. Let me see. I don't know.
Oh wait, maybe the knife. Not on this statement, by the way. I just want you to know you're on the right statement.
Let me see.
It's either the knife or the stub. Or the blue badger. Or the attorney's badge.
Really? Hold on. Let me, Cause it was in the trunk. It was just in the trunk of his car.
Yeah, how you gonna do a murder without a weapon?
Exactly.
Witness, do you know what this is?
Are you trying to test me? I sell box lunches for a living, you know. That's a knife. The knife. The knife that was in Mr. Edgeworth's trunk.
Indeed, it is my knife.
What's with this case? The bloody murder weapon, a red car, all belonging to the prosecutor's there. The defendant is the chief prosecutor for the district. What is this?
Mommy, our prosecutors bad people.
The defense has a request.
That was the crowd.
Yeah, that was the
Oh,
crowd. We ask that the witness provide an accurate testimony.
What's that, rookie?
In your testimony, you stated that Lana Sky planned this murder. And that's why she was wearing those special gloves.
Seems like a natural conclusion to me. The gloves do indicate planning.
However, why would she not also prepare the most important thing? The murder weapon.
Oh, she's sweating.
This knife just happened to be in the trunk of that car. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're going to plan a murder, you don't forget the weapon.
Nah, Shermanator. Whoa. Order, order, order.
Great. Now your tide is turning in our favor.
Great show, Mr. Wright. My sister's as good as free.
Right. I believe the next lunch you'll be eating is humble pie. What? I hope you weren't deluding yourself into thinking that the tide has turned. Not over such a trifling detail. But this shoots a hole in the whole premeditated theory. Bah. The prosecution could care less if it was premeditated or not. The only one who seems to care is that lunch lady over there. The defendant, Lana Sky, murdered a detective with a knife. That is the only thing the prosecution need prove, nothing else.
Very good, Mr. Prosecutor. I suppose you think you're clever now. But you know as well as I do that she planned on killing him. It was planned. If it wasn't, why would she have been wearing? I believe I'd like to hear your testimony again.
Witness, please tell us only what you saw, not what you thought.
How dare you? My powers of deduction are not to be underestimated.
Really now?
Witness testimony, Angel's deduction. Lana Sky intended to murder Detective Goodman. That's why she called the victim all the way to the prosecutor's office. I'm sure the chief prosecutor had a grudge against the victim. Nothing else could drive that human machine to plunge the knife in and again and again. The victim was summoned from the police department to the prosecutor's office. It does sound a lot like premeditation, doesn't it? So if I order a pizza, does that mean I'm planning to kill the delivery boy? In any case, the defense may now cross-examine the witness. Cross-examination. Lana Sky intended to murder Detective Goodman.
You said that, but you haven't told us how you know.
That's what I'm about to tell you, rookie. Did she say she stabbed him multiple times?
She stabbed him again and again.
Mm-hmm. I believe what she just said was a mere prelude to the story she is about to tell. Try not to interrupt her again. Rookie. Never interrupt a storyteller. It's like pulling a bun out of the oven half-baked.
Something's half-baked here, alright, and it's you. Try not to confuse the defense witness. They're not very quick on their feet. Now, why did you believe the suspect had intentions to murder the victim?
Her actions speak for themselves. That's why she called the victim all the way to the prosecutor's office.
You have no proof that Miss Sky caught him there.
You have no proof that she didn't. Mr. Edgeworth, thoughts?
There is no record of a call made on the defendant Miss Lana Sky's phone.
She might have written him a letter.
Come on, you could have tried public phone first at least. In any case, the victim came to the prosecutor's office where he was murdered.
I'm sure he had a reason to be there. Witness? Why do you think it was the suspect who summoned the victim that day? I'm sure the chief prosecutor had a grudge against the victim.
What kind of grudge?
Well, I wouldn't know that.
Of course you don't. That's because she didn't have a grudge.
Rookie. I have a lunchbox here. Now, what's inside?
How am I supposed to know?
See, we agreed there is a lunchbox here, but we don't know what's inside. A person's life is like a lunchbox with pretzels. Don't you agree? I get it. That's why my lunch was so salty.
This judge isn't very good with metaphors. The suspect had a grudge against Detective Goodman. Will you tell us your basis for thinking this?
It's simple. Nothing else could drive that human machine to plunge the knife in and again and again.
A human machine? That's a contradiction. Please. Can't you find fault with something of substance, Mr. Wright?
Note to self, Mr. Edgeworth's size smells like citrus fruit.
You say again and again. How many times did she stab him exactly?
We often say chop into 1,000 pieces, but we don't actually mean 1,000 pieces. What difference does it make if a deed is done?
How come she's getting mad at me?
Let's just say she stabbed him several times and leave it at that.
Leave it at that? This is a murder case, people!
Mr. Wright, you should speak up if you have an objection, you know.
Miss Starr has turned out to be as short-tempered as she looked when we met her. Challenging her abilities as a detective really set her off.
The short wick burns off the fastest. It's scientific fact.
I wonder, wouldn't it depend on the size of the candle? I mean, add more wax and even a really short wick will burn longer.
Obviously, more scientific testing is required.
What is they talking about?
I know. None of Sky intended to murder Detective Goodman.
Right, Preston.
I did this.
Yes. Right, while we repeating our conversation, it's word for word. What kind of junk?
Let me see. That's why she called the victim all the way to the prosecutor's office.
Again and again and again and again and again. Alright,
see.
so like the attorney's badge really shiny and cool. Nick like shows it to a lot of people throughout the game.
One knife wound.
And the attorney's badge like looks really cool. I like the design. You say she stabbed him again and again, but you couldn't have witnessed that.
Are you testing me? Then I'll test you. With my moss surprise.
I'm afraid the moss is growing under our feet as we wait, Miss Starr.
What do you mean?
I shouldn't have to explain this, but take a look. The autopsy report states that the death was due to a loss of blood from one stab wound.
Aha. You're right. Good show, Mr. Edgeworth. What a hunk. He's my hero, really, really.
What about my objection? No one noticed?
We on witness? Got the crime scene set right? Oh, thanks. I always believed that no one could ever mistake ketchup for blood, but now I realize that such mistakes are possible.
So, you're saying you mistook something for blood?
When she lifted her knife, I thought I saw blood at her wrist.
Stop.
Shut up. Splattered blood from her victim. That's why I thought she must have stabbed him at least twice. Then tell us what you saw that you thought was blood. Testify. Her red muffler looked like blood to me. That's how ghastly the whole scene was.
This store has and she's and
I should have pressed her. Let me
candles,
see. Lord.
candles. Miss Dora, are you a candle? Her red muffler?
Yes, like a scarf. The chief's prophet, the priest.
The priest?
The priest, Lord. Jesus
priest.
Christ.
Everybody raise their hands in the courtroom.
Yes, like a scarf. The chief prosecutor always wears one around her neck, so she can easily hang at a moment's notice, I suppose. She can
He's
easily
right.
hang. I'll easily be hanged. I'm about to say.
This guy was wearing a red scarf, wasn't she? But wait, isn't it odd that you mistook that for splattered blood?
Well, people often mistake my beard for a bib.
Yeah, Edgeworth don't say
Like
that.
Edgeworth.
Be quiet. A judge with a bib. That's why this place feels so much like kindergarten sometimes.
Actually, I do think I saw some traces of blood on her chest.
However, the autopsy report is clear on this matter. There was only one knife wound. Apparently, Miss Starr isn't entirely sure of her own testimony.
Mr. Wright, this is our chance.
As for what, I wonder? Yeah, okay, whatever. So where's the contradiction? This one is stupid, and I'm not saying anything. Well, that's fairly noticeable.
Let me see. I didn't see her with that scarf on, did you? She didn't have it on.
Ooh. Miss Starr, I demand an explanation. The witness is clearly not suited for detective work.
What?
The suspect was not wearing a scarf or muffler of any kind when she stabbed the victim. And you've proved it yourself with this photograph.
Edgeworth on the defense side is.
What you doing, Edgeworth?
Huh? But that can't be.
Only professional lunch lady could be so utterly clueless. Congratulations. Perhaps you have finally found your true calling in life.
Harsh words, but good. In the end, Mr. Edgeworth prevails.
What's my objection? Chopped liver?
But it was there, a scarf. No, not that, but something red, really.
Well now, where were we? The witness has given us an entertaining interlude, but back to business.
What? Very well, witness. Continue your testimony. You saw the crime and apprehended the suspect. Tell us about that. Very well. I do remember some things accurately, at least.
Ultimately, we couldn't shake the most important part of her testimony.
The most important part.
The part where your sister stabs the victim. This next testimony might be the moment of truth. Ooh.
Witness testimony apprehending the suspect. After the murder, the suspect attempted to run behind a partition off to her side. I quickly caught her, explained her rights to her, and arrested her on the spot. How'd she do that? She's no longer a policeman anyway. Yes, when I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. That's what had me confused in my earlier testimony. The chief prosecutor made to escape, but against Angel Star, resistance is futile. What is that phrase from? Resistance is futile.
It's just the line that you find.
Nah. What I heard that from?
Oh, you talking about you specifically? I don't know.
Y'all know Game Queen 81
Resistance is futile.
You are quite determined about this scarf, aren't you? I strike like a snake and bite like a cobra. That's me. Angel Star. Yeah, that was the Borgs, whatever you want to call them. On Star Trek The Next Generation.
Oh, I ain't seen it. Which doors? Me, huh? That wasn't a very good metaphor. First of all, a cobra is a kind of snake.
Don't bother me with details unless you want to get bitten.
No thanks.
No Note to self, Mr. Wright is weak against poisonous snake bites.
Anybody is.
The chief prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hands aside, kicked over an oil drum.
An oil drum? Hard to imagine.
Oh, she's beautiful but deadly. A predator, this one. A leopard woman. Roar. Very well, Mr. Wright. Your cross-examination, if you will. Cross-examination. Apprehending the suspect. After the murder, the suspect attempted to run behind a partition off to her side.
So where's this partition on the floor plan?
Yeah, I don't see a partition.
Oh wait, sure she means this wall next to the car. That's right. There was a wall there, about 6 feet high.
She was obviously trying to hide herself. Quite a natural thing for a criminal to do.
And what did you do then?
I quickly caught her, explained her rights to her, and arrested her on the spot.
You say quickly? Were you close to the suspect?
As I just said, I was only 30 feet away from her the whole time.
Maybe I should press her for more details.
Press her.
I'd like to see this on the floor plan, just to be safe. The Lunchland car was... She was a visitor, thus she was parked in B block. So you witnessed the murder from here?
That would make it about 30 feet from the car, yes?
Is that correct, Miss Starr?
Yes, that's right.
But, no.
But there was a chain link fence in front of you. I went over it, of course. Amazing, the Copper Queen lunch lady athlete indeed. It would have taken her a little time to climb over the fence. So she couldn't have gotten to my sister that fast.
Yeah, that fence was about 9 feet high too. So how did Miss Sky not get away?
Ah yes, when I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler.
She mentioned the muffler? What exactly did she say?
If I remembered exactly, I would have told you in my... Anyway, all I heard her say was the word muffler. Just that one word?
What you heard wasn't the suspect talking to you, but someone else?
Yes, the chief prosecutor was talking on her phone.
Her phone? She can't mean...
Ask further.
By phone, do you mean this cell phone discovered at the crime scene?
Yes, ultimately.
Ultimately?
My memory? It's like a salmon heading upstream, you see. No, the court doesn't see, Miss Starr. The chief prosecutors first attempted to use the phone hanging on the wall. On the wall?
That's right. Near the car, there was an emergency phone on the wall.
Apparently, it was out of order. And so she used her cell phone.
Indeed, the emergency phone was out of order that day.
Good witnesses, witness.
Good witnessing? Whatever happened to a good testifying?
You should, of course, add this to your testimony. The thing I do to please this rookie defense attorney. The word muffler was overheard during a call made to Emma at 5:18. How they know it was Emma?
Phoenix found out yesterday. They don't know, but he knows.
Not a cell phone updated in the court record. Nah, why would they put that in the court record?
Wait, is it in the court record?
Mm-hmm.
I think this is just like Phoenix's mental court record, yo.
Yes, he is, Game Queen. He let that other prosecutor run all over him.
That's funny, bro.
I saw it all, how she tried the phone on the wall but had to use her cell instead.
Do you think you could restate your testimony for the court?
Aha, I was going to ask the same thing. I only say this one time, so listen close, rookies. The chief prosecutor stabbed the victim and ran behind the partition. Then she picked up the emergency phone on the wall, but it was out of order. So she pulled her own cell phone out of her pocket. And during that time, you climbed over the chain link fence? Then when I boldly grabbed her arm, the chief prosecutor hung up her phone.
And you saw her doing this?
What is it, Mr. Wright?
What is it, Mr. Wright? They basically gave you that one, by the way.
The chief prosecutor made to escape, but against Angel Star, resistance is futile.
She made to escape? Can you be more specific?
Right, she could be talking about a car muffler.
Car muffler.
She brushed aside my hand and ran. It was a terrible sight to see, like a dollop of lard on a pate of foie gras. I don't know what that is.
Huh?
She even kicked over an oil drum at me.
An oil drum?
There was an oil drum lying on its side at the scene of the crime.
But it's strange.
What's that?
If she wanted to escape, why didn't she run the other way?
The parking lot entrance. That's right. It doesn't make any sense that she would run from behind the partition to the oil drums. Excellent, more mysteries. I wish we could
solve a few before finding more, though. So Miss Guy tried to run.
I'm sorry, my sister is so suspicious, Mr. Wright.
I'm as sorry as I am.
But she didn't do it. You have to believe me. After the murder, the suspect attempted to run behind a partition off to her side.
Do you see it?
Let me see. Hold on. Don't say nothing. Did I press it on that one already?
Press it on all of them.
The chief prosecutor made to escape, but I ain't just... Oops, I did that.
You got them running heels.
Let me see. Okay, let me see. Let me look at the photo again.
Wait, you saw it?
Did I see it on that photo?
Yeah, I'm just saying what Nick said earlier.
I'm trying to figure out what he saw, what he was talking about. What was he talking about?
Go back to the map.
Ah, that wall.
So if she was in B-Vlog, if she was in B-Vlog, right, cause she was in B-Vlog, right?
Mm-hmm.
She said she saw you making a telephone call.
Right. Let me see.
But that's impossible. So that's why you should definitely present the attorney's badge right now.
Really?
Yes.
You're gonna have me lose some health on here. So yeah, she couldn't have seen it because of that partition on the wall or that wall that was right there.
Miss Star, I have to conclude that you have a personal grudge against Miss Lana Sky. The witness is a former detective. Her testimony is unarmed or unmarred by personal bias.
Well, who would have thought you would be my knight in shining armor, prosecutor? You, who together with the chief prosecutor, kicked me out 2 years ago.
Well, Miss Star, this is a fatal contradiction with your testimony. How do you explain this?
I don't know what you're talking about. Mess with me and I'll make you cough it all up.
Let's look at the floor plans. You said you witnessed the crime from this point. However, if that's true, you couldn't possibly have seen Miss Sky making that phone call.
Ugh.
I believe you see what I'm getting at. That emergency phone was on the back side of this partition. If indeed you were in B block, you couldn't have seen it!
Order, order. What is the meaning of this?
It's simple, Your Honor. She's not coughing up lunch. She's coughing up fibs.
Ugh.
That's quite a claim, Mr. Wright. Perhaps you will allow me to a question? Tell us exactly what fib the witness has told the court. Here's where the counterattack begins. I can't afford to get this wrong. The witness fibbed about what she saw. Where she saw it. There were the events.
What she saw? Where she saw it, or
where she saw it, probably. But she definitely, like, why she not get up?
where she saw it, yeah.
This guy tried to use their emergency phone, but it was out of order. What is significant about this fact? Nothing. Therefore, it would be pointless for Miss Story to fib about it.
Pointless to fib? I see.
But say the witness did actually see Miss Sky using their emergency phone. It would mean Miss Star witnessed the crime from a different location. A different location? Now that's a pointless fib if I've ever heard one. Before you call my fib pointless, at least let me tell it.
Let me ask a question to our clever wordsmith, Mr. Wright. Just where was the witness when she saw the crime?
All the testimony we've heard until now points in one direction. The place where Miss Star witnessed the crime was here.
Uh-oh. Over here? Oh, the security room? Can you see the security room?
Maybe.
She was over here. She had to be over here somewhere.
At what place?
Security room. What you think, Game Queen 81?
She was hiding the telephone the entire time. That only actually happened in later history.
Do you have to be specific over here?
Yeah, you have to point to a specific spot. I can tell you.
Is it the security room?
Maybe.
I think it is. Yeah, security, Game Queen.
This is the only place where she could have been.
The security guard room?
Indeed, the security guard room in the underground parking lot is well positioned. It's built on the second floor so you can see the entire lot.
She would have been able to see the emergency phone from there. But why there? There are many other places where she could have seen the phone.
Now in this case, Your Honor, the witness not being part of the prosecutor's office couldn't park in A block. The only place where she could have been to see the crime is the back of the partition. Is here. Okay, whatever. I messed up.
It's here.
I remember in your testimony you said you brought a lunch to your boyfriend in the security guard room, yes? Well, Miss Star?
How many years have I been getting the better of men? To think that the tables could be turned? Today a man has got the better of Angel Star. Order, witness. What have you done? You used to be a detective. You should know better. I'm not turning back. The guilty will be punished. And I'll do what I must to make sure justice prevails.
The guilty? Is she talking about Miss Sky?
Mr. Wright, doesn't this strike you as odd? Honey, Miss Starfield, it doesn't make sense. I know that's right. She in contempt of court, is she?
Yup, and she committed multiple counts of perjury. Yup. And that photo should be thrown out as evidence. So we won. Huh?
She could have just said she saw the crime from the security guard station. It wouldn't change anything.
Exactly. This photograph tells all. It was the defendant who stabbed the victim.
Hold on. It was the defendant who stabbed the victim. Oh, okay. I'm tripping.
That truth still stands. It still stands. I disagree, Mr. Edgeworth.
Exactly, Gang Queen 81.
What? If a witness is found to be fibbing, they're guilty of perjury. She knows this. She wouldn't risk that without a good reason.
So tell us what her reason was, Mr. Wright.
Huh? Me?
Who else? Mr. Wright, let's review what we know.
Miss Star witnessed the crime from the security guard station.
Hold on. How could she witness it from there and that wall is right there?
Huh? No, it's from the other side.
I'm saying. I'll just let this play out. Hold on.
Okay. It must make a vital difference. But what? What would change?
The angle of view to the crime. Distance to the crime, difference in lighting.
I forgot.
Angle of view. It must make a vital difference. But what would change?
She needed to get the perfect lighting for her photo.
And then, the picture is she's facing the victim. It just don't seem like it's. She took it from the security angle. If she was at the security guard station, how is she facing the defendant while she's taking the picture? What is that?
Hold on a second. Never mind.
And the car is on the other side of that partition.
How she get over there though?
How she get over there?
Yeah.
If she was at the security guard, she was already over there. She must have walked over there or something.
Yeah, like how she get from the security guard station back to the thing?
Who are you talking about? The Angel Star?
Yeah, how she get from the security room? You can do what you want to do.
Angle of view to the crime or distance to the crime? What you think, Gang Queen 81?
Flip the coin.
Let me see this one.
Why? The angle in which she saw the crime occur would change.
The angle? What do you mean?
Well, the security guard station is on the second floor, and, she would have sort of a more 3D view of the crime.
And this is important. Why?
Um,
I think I did the wrong one.
yes, you did.
I did the wrong one. Oh my goodness gracious. Mr. Wright, let's review what we know.
Chaos distance. Yeah, that's right.
Why you didn't say nothing then?
I wasn't sure. And if I said distance, it was wrong, you could clown on me. It changes the distance between her and the scene of the crime. My condolences, Mr. Wright. But one look at the floor plans and it's quite clear. The distance between the scene of the crime and the guard station is 30 feet. I don't see how that would change what she could see. What she saw is not a question here. What matters is the time it would take her to reach the scene of the crime. Miss Starr, you witnessed the crime from the security guard station. Now, how long did it take you to go from there to the scene of the crime where you arrested Miss Sky?
Well, witness? You.
Yes?
You ordered the squid wheels, right?
The quality of my lunches has gone from low to inedible.
I was bringing a PB&J lunch with fresh boysenberry jam to my boyfriend. Boysenberry for the boyfriend? He wasn't in the station, so I waited. I witnessed the crime from the glass-walled station. And before I knew what I was doing, I found myself running towards the scene. But the door was locked. I couldn't open it. How she had time to do all that?
And she was running heels.
That's why I had to go through the visitors parking in B block. That's quite a detour. It probably took me at least 5 minutes to get to the scene of the crime. Oh my goodness. 5 minutes? She said she arrested her immediately. This changes things considerably. But it was that woman over there in the defendant's chair who stabbed him. Exactly. She is not Sonic the Hedgehog. I know it. I have photographic evidence. I mean it on my finest plastic spork. What is a spork? You have a point, and a spork is a wonderful invention.
You know what a spork is?
It's one of those forks with the
Like a
spoon and the fork. Oh my goodness. Would you like another caviar lunch? Absolutely.
Uh-oh.
Mr. Wright, you have to do something.
Do I have any evidence to stop this? Man, I'm tired of this case. Let me just... 5 minutes between the witnessing of the murder and the arrest. Think about it. You could make pasta in that amount of time. If you like it al dente.
I got lunch boxes that tie pasta into knots, Ricky.
A 5-minute blank. Isn't that strange? Strange? If you were a criminal, what would you do with 5 minutes, Your Honor?
Well, I guess I flee the scene. Don't get the wrong idea. I didn't kill anyone.
But you have the instincts of a killer. You would run. But this time was different. Miss Sky died at the scene of the crime. She even had her picture taken. No true criminal will act this way. It's inconceivable.
Yeah. Well then, it seems we've come to the end of this testimony. The witness has a grudge against the defendant and a blank in her testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, is the next witness ready to go?
Unfortunately, I appear to have overestimated the witness on her account of professional history.
We did it. We got her. Whatever.
That was too close.
I'm afraid that the cough-up queen has been dethroned. And with that, court is adjourned. Hold it. Who's that, Edgeworth? Mr. Edgeworth, you ordered the squid wheels, right?
That's the one she tried to foist off on me. I prefer to not take the defense team's leftovers. Anything else to say?
I might be able to save you. I have decisive evidence. What was that?
Is this another one of her trick lunchboxes?
My apologies, but we have no further questions to ask for you, Miss Storr. Ah. Is this your jumbo lunchbox? I'm tired of her pulling out these lunchboxes.
How many she got?
A triple decker. Out of defense to the witness's determination, I allow one more testimony. Let's hear about this decisive evidence.
Judge got bribed.
Like the Lunchland motto says, you won't be disappointed.
What's she gonna pull out her lunchbox this time?
Witness testimony, decisive evidence. I should have mentioned those 5 minutes when I wasn't looking at the crime scene. And now, to the matter of the victim's shoe. Did I not bring this up? 2 types of blood were found on this shoe. One was, of course, the victim's, and the other blood type matched that of the defendant, Miss Lana Sky. This shoe proves it is flawless, decisive evidence. What? There was blood found on that shoe? Try Lunchland for all your lunch and decisive evidence needs.
Witness, what's the meaning of this? Why is this the first time I've heard of this evidence?
Simple. As I've already said, I don't trust you with evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. That's why I took the liberty of investigating this myself.
And you had blood tests performed?
Didn't I mention? I have 3 boyfriends in forensics.
Yeah, 3 boyfriends.
In forensics alone, huh?
In any case, Your Honor, I can't accept this as evidence.
What?
You must know the 2 rules of evidence law. Rule number 1, no evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. In other words, this shoe is illegal evidence, at least for the time being.
Is that right, Mr. Wright?
It seems so. That's what she is celebrating.
Not so fast, Mr. Edgeworth.
Huh?
Don't forget, I used to be a detective. As I mentioned previously, the shoe has already been tested by a member of the forensics department. As you can see, it was approved by the police department as of today. Even the general public can produce official evidence, Mr. Edgeworth.
Huh? Huh?
Is that right, Mr. Wright? I
It
see.
seems so. Edgeworth is looking pretty sullen.
You could at least study some evidence law, really.
Is the defense attorney, y'all?
The prosecution's complaints notwithstanding, it appears that this evidence satisfies the first rule of evidence law. However, it seems you have yet another count against you, witness. Anything to ensure that the guilty are properly judged. Victim shoe added to the court record. White enamel shoe bears traces of blood from Goodman and Lana Sky. Very well, Mr. Wright. You may cross-examine the witness. Cross-examination, decisive evidence. I should have mentioned those 5 minutes when I wasn't looking at the crime scene.
Why did you fib about those 5 minutes?
I guess you could say I just wanted people to look at the results.
The results?
How many times do I have to say this? I saw the chief prosecutor stab the victim before my very eyes. Compared to that, a 5-minute blank means nothing.
Then why didn't you just tell the truth?
Don't make me laugh. We're dealing with the most untrustworthy of the vile lot known as prosecutors. Falsified evidence, arranged testimonies, erasing and manipulating evidence. When you fight monsters, you need to use every trick in the book.
Is when the suspect is admitted she did it?
The false testimony is the most despicable crime of all, Miss Starr. Let's just get this over with. And now to the matter of the victim's shoe. Did I not bring this up?
No, you didn't. And you found the shoe at the scene of the crime?
I detained the chief prosecutor and notified the police department. I wanted to make myself useful while I was waiting for the police to arrive.
So, like an ill-trained pooch, you snuck off with a shoe.
I was afraid someone would erase the chief prosecutor's crime. This shoe was my secret weapon if that should happen. See this fashionable basket I have here? See this fashionable basket I have here? It carries more than lunch boxes, gentlemen.
I'm happy for you and your lunchbox bag. Really?
In any case, you remove valuable evidence from the scene of the crime. Now tell us what you did next. 2 types of blood were found on this shoe. One was, of course, the victim's.
So you brought it to the forensics department?
If you're going to submit something as evidence in court, you need it approved. To do that, evidence must be analyzed by a forensics expert.
And she got away with a little coup because she used to be a detective.
The shoe does appear to have blood stains on it. Well, the man was stabbed after all.
And that blood belonged to the victim, Detective Goodman?
As I said, there were 2 types of blood found on the shoe. And the other blood type matched that of the defendant, Miss Lana Sky.
You can't say for sure the blood belonged to the defendant with a blood test.
You claim to know something about blood tests, rookie?
Huh?
Well, speak up.
Well, blood comes in 4 types, A, B, O, and AB. However, you can't tell from a blood test whether a murder was committed in cold blood.
That's just a figure of speech, Mr. Wright. Actually, we can differentiate between millions of types with all the blood tests out there, which means that we can more or less narrow any samples of blood drawn down to just one person, or so I hear.
That's pretty specific.
If I had a little more time, I would have gotten DNA test results. But they said there is very little doubt it could be anyone but Miss Lana Skies. So the suspect's blood was found on the victim's shoe.
That ties her directly to the death of Detective Goodman. I was afraid he was going to say that.
The shoe proves it. It's flawless, decisive evidence.
I can't let this evidence go through without a fight.
You ordered the peppered what?
Fish guts.
Fish guts. Some like it hot, Mr. Wright. Sounds like your client. She's in enough hot water to make a whole vat of soup. Mr. Wright, do you or don't you have a problem with this shoe?
A problem? This is critical. Is there a problem with the victim's shoe? Yes, there always is.
Well, she didn't get the blood test.
If I'm not imagining things, I'd say there is one critical problem with this evidence. A clear contradiction.
That gleam in your eyes. You're still young, rookie. I give you a peppered fish gut now. But you couldn't take the heat, could you? Let's hear what Mr. Wright has to say. What is contradictory about the victim's shoe? Show us the problem with this evidence. Oh,
It's
Lord.
this stuff.
Rotate.
Hold on a second. What's that on the bottom?
It's supposed to be blood, I guess. Is this her shoe?
Is this your drip?
What's the problem with the shoe? This?
I wonder if you noticed. There's blood on the bottom of the shoe.
Don't mess with me, rookie. Or it'll be your blood on the bottom of my shoe. Indeed, there is quite a bit of blood on the bottom of the shoe.
It makes sense. The victim was stabbed with a knife. What could possibly be contradictory about blood on the bottom of a shoe?
Lord.
My attorney. My attorney.
Let me see. Was there blood anywhere?
The photo? Huh? I don't see no blood.
That's why I looked at the parking lot. I didn't see no blood on the floor. She got on both of her shoes. Whose shoe was it? The victim's?
Mm-hmm.
Should I present her with this?
The problem lies in the footprint.
The footprint?
Note that the bottom of the victim's shoe is covered in blood. Then, isn't it strange? Why weren't any bloody footprints found by the scene of the crime?
Aha.
As you can see, there were no traces of any such footprints at the scene of the crime. That contradicts your claim about this shoe! This picture only shows part of the floor, so there could have been bloody footprints. Then where are they, Mr. Edgeworth? Because we checked the scene and found nothing of the sort.
Order, order, order. Will witness? What, huh? Great going, Mr. Wright, but it's true that the lack of a footprint is a contradiction, but then we have to ask why there wasn't a footprint.
Oh.
That's true. There has to be a reason why there wasn't a footprint. Think, Mr. Wright, think.
Hey, I don't know why it's not there. I'm just good at finding contradictions.
What?
I see. No, I get it. Get what? Our witness is more devious than I gave her credit for. We were hoodwinked to the very end. But she slipped. There is one vital hint to the truth in her testimony.
What are you talking about?
Think back to when she told us about apprehending the suspect.
The chief prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hands aside, kicked over an oil drum. Oh, she's beautiful but deadly, a predator this would a leopard woman roar.
I thought that was a strange thing for the normally cool-headed chief to do. No kidding. Now witness, allow me to ask a very simple question. This oil drum, was it empty?
Oh, that, I'm not sure I like your attitude, Mr. Edgeworth. Though apparently you're not the slowest conveyor built in the lunchbox factory. Witness, well, was the oil drum empty? The oil drum, kicked over by the chief prosecutor, was brimming with water.
Water? What does that mean?
Still don't get it, Mr. Wright? Do you want to know the reason she knocked it over? The real reason.
Aha, you don't mean...
Yes, the suspect knocked over that oil drum for one reason and one reason alone. To erase the bloodstains that will become decisive evidence against her.
Wah!
That ties things up quite nicely. The bloodstains left on the victim's shoe tie her quite clearly to this murder. Then, after the deed was done, she knocked over the oil drum to erase the telltale signs. Why, that's a prosecutor's specialty, erasing evidence.
That reminds me, this guy's right hand was hurt. Didn't she say she cut herself when she stabbed him?
So that's when my sister's blood got on the shoe. Well, I see no reason to prolong this trial. Mr. Wright, do something, please.
What? What did I do?
Your sister,
Your sister has confessed to the crime, and she tried to conceal it.
But
Enough. There is no need for further debate. The verdict, Your Honor.
very well. But Angel Star is on the prosecution side. She could have been fibbing about the water. This court finds the defendant, Miss London Sky. Hold it. Little girl, what did you just say? Huh? Me? Did you say that I, Angel Star, was on the prosecution side? Well, yeah, you are. You're saying my sister hid evidence by erasing the bloody footprints. Well, I thought you'd had your fill, but here you are, demanding a second helping. Another lunchbox, a lunchbox called evidence. Wait, witness, don't tell me you have something else.
The time for deliberations is past. Any further comments and you will be held in contempt of court.
Your threats don't scare the cough-up queen. Look at this. A photograph? I had it just in case anyone had the gall to suggest that the white shoe didn't belong to the victim. I see no room for error in this evidence. Mr. Wright, wait, look at this asphalt in this photo.
Hey, it's clearly wet.
Wait, oh, I see it.
Erasing the last trace of doubt from the court's mind. Immediately after the murder, the crime scene was washed with water. I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. I guess I couldn't help after all.
Not your fault. I knew I couldn't win this case from the beginning. And it seems this is what your sister wanted anyway. I'm sorry, Mia.
Right, wit or not. Don't be so quick to throw in the towel.
Huh?
Get yourself up off the asphalt. Take another good look. Don't give up, not until the bitter end.
This is the last piece of evidence.
Very well. The time I'd like to declare a verdict for good.
Your Honor, wait!
What is it with you people? Can I hand down my verdicts in peace anymore? Whatever it is, can it wait?
No, it can't. then it will be too late. Look at this photograph. The last one submitted.
Did y'all lose the case?
Yep, we lost. It's over.
This trial isn't over until we give each piece of evidence proper consideration.
So, right. Are you saying there's a problem with this latest piece of evidence?
Yeah, I'll think later. Yeah, there's a problem. Right or wrong, I've got to go ahead with this.
I suppose since we've come this far, we should give every claim a fresh shake. Very well, Mr. Wright. Tell the court the problem with this photograph. Why is this in here?
I'm surprised you saw it. I thought you would took like super long to find it.
Now I know about cars. I know about cars now, so I know if something is wrong with the muffler.
The problem in this photograph is here.
What's this?
There's something poking out of the car's muffler.
Wait just a moment, Mr. Edgeworth.
Your Honor,
You just said muffler. However, I see no trace of a muffler or scarf of any kind in this photograph.
The muffler is also the muffler is also put on a car or motorcycle, Your Honor. Just think of it as part of the exhaust system, a pipe.
I see, and I see. What's that suspicious looking cloth sticking out of that car's muffler? So what if there is something sticking out of the muffler? What does that have to do with this case? Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
sorry, Miss Star, but it's not going to be that easy. In fact, you've already told us why this is important to the case. You said as much in your testimony.
What? Let's hear what Mr. Wright has on his mind. Tell us why you think this piece of cloth is in the muffler is related to this case.
It's all right here, Your Honor. The Blue Badger.
Really? The word muffler was overheard during a call. What's wrong with you? You think it's the word this here? Hold on.
The word muffler. Miss Starr, recall your testimony for the court.
Ah, yes, when I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. That's what had me confused in my earlier testimony. Muffler, oh, yeah.
Could it be that the muffler you heard mentioned was actually this exhaust pipe?
Somebody was trying to kill Edgeworth.
Somebody was trying to kill Edgeworth. No,
Really?
not this time.
This is car.
If so, that means this piece of cloth is vital evidence.
Oh. Oh. Well, it seems we have to suspend the proceedings. Suspend? I find myself wondering about that piece of cloth. If we leave any question unanswered here, we do have disservice to the law. Have the car at the crime scene inspected at once and bring me that cloth. The verdict will wait until after we've seen all the evidence. Agreed?
I suppose so.
That was close. But we made it. At least for now.
This court will adjourn for a 30-minute recess. It's lunchtime after all.
He's still hungry?
To be continued.
Yep.
All right, that was the first half of the case, y'all, of the trial. These cases getting longer and longer, are they? All right, so I guess that's it for today.
Yeah.
Look, Finish Right had to save the day. Mia had to come to him, y'all.
How'd she come?
Mia had to come, y'all. Anyway. All right, that was kind of interesting. What you think, Plum?
It was cool.
Game Queen 81, you think that was interesting? Look, Phoenix dug himself out that hole, but yeah. All right, I guess we'll continue later on. I appreciate you all for watching. If you're watching and you like what you see, I'd like if you would subscribe and hit the like button for me. All right, Game Queen 81, and we had Yeety in the chat, and everyone's watching. I really appreciate your support tonight, and yeah, I will talk to you all on the next one. You all take care. The witness is trash. I know, they need to throw out her and all of her evidence. That lady, I don't know what's up with her. She it's like she is setting them up or something. She got something to do with the crime. I believe she do. But anyway, she there with the picture and with the camera and everything. She got something to do with it. But yeah. We'll see. Just stay tuned, y'all. And yeah, good night, everyone.